Indeed, man. Get that man a round of applause. Me and this man been rocking for years now. I done been in this man's home and ate his food.
Ooh.
Of course you did.
Sounds about right.
Come on, man. True story. I sat down with this man and built it in his home. He's been on this show. This man has kept in contact with me. Very patient. He's a very patient individual, and I think that shows emotional intelligence on many levels, as patient as he's been with me. But he's a very necessary, needed entity in our culture. He's been through rap. He's been trying to effectively make people aware of climate change, plant-based foods, food justice. He's been really on purpose with his environmental activism. He's done a lot, and he continues to do a lot. He's teamed up with a lot of our friends in the work that he's done, whether it's Public Enemy, Questlove, 2 Chainz, Wyclef. He's Nick Jonas. He's opened up for them on shows. I see him all over the world. He moved to the Bay recently, to Sausalito. We bumped into each other at a Roots concert, and he was still on purpose, still on message, looking amazing, carrying that great energy. I hit him up because I knew Earth Day was coming. And every year we have these discussions, and so I wanted to bring him back on the show today to discuss Earth Day. The one and only Dr. Etef, a.k.a. DJ Cavem, is back with us.
Hey!
Peace, love, unity. What's popping, y'all?
What's up, man?
Peace, love, unity.
How you doing, bro?
Yeah, I'm giving thanks. You know, last year was good for hip-hop, 50 years, you know what I mean? But I'm feeling like right now, we're just in this good space. You know, I'm celebrating environmental hip-hop, culinary climate action. Shout out to all the ancestors and the elders for paving the way, you know?
Environmental hip-hop, culinary climate action. What does that mean? Break that down.
Wow, you know, when I started to think about the ideas of what we need to do to address climate change, straight up, I was like, yo, we need to get up in the garden. Got to start growing some food, organizing these corner crops. I mean, like, yo, instead of growing grass, why not just grow some food? So I figure like that's the best way we can sequester the carbon out of the atmosphere, be able to feed the hood at the same time, create those green jobs we need. This is pretty much, this is real revolution right here. So that's what it is. The
revolution is in the food.
True.
Right?
True.
When you talk about food justice, one of the conversations we had when I was at your home that stuck out, and when we were talking about food justice, was the discrimination that you could find in the food industry. You know, talk about that and what that meant. You explained it to me back then, and I was baffled.
Man, you know what? Dealing with somebody who grew up with the freshest thing I could find, that was a lemon in a liquor store. You know, I know everything about redlining. You know, our communities at the same time, you know, yeah, we might have had some elders who knew how to grow some food, but at the same time, they were trying to get out of that, you know, internalized oppression of what it felt like to go back into slavery, right? So I think it's important for us to understand that indigeneity, kind of connect with our elders who have that ancient wisdom for present problems. So I'm all about getting in that soil, you know what I'm saying? I think when we're talking about what happened with our elders who had access to all the, you know, the urban land in the community. Now everybody living in apartments. Nobody really even know how to grow anything.
Yeah.
So I think the conversation really looks like, what does revolution look like for our health? And when we take care of our health, we're able to take care of the earth at the same time. So that's real love.
That's real love, man. All right, give it up for my man DJ Cavem. All right. How receptive, because one of the things Cavem does, he came in here and he handed us packets of seeds. Right? What did you get, Heather? What do you
I got kale, arugula, beets, and tomato.
And one of the things he does is you offer this at your shows as well, right?
True.
What, you know, some people offer merch, they offer T-shirts, they offer hoodies. You offer seeds.
Man.
Speak to that. How has that been received?
You know, the revolution shouldn't be hungry. And I think it's really important that we actually start to put our money where our mouth is. And so I've been basically organizing with community organizers and CSAs and all these different urban farmers to basically distribute this album. I put a QR code on the back of the pack of the seeds. Told people that there's growing instructions on the inside, really trying to influence each other, that we can grow food for ourselves. And if you love your hood so much, grow for your hood. You know what I mean? It's different than just giving out, you know, food. You know, you can actually show people how to do it, and at the same time, they can harvest it, regrow it. You know, originally we had plant-based records. how it all started. We was making beats out of beats, did a whole TED talk about it, you know what I'm saying, and started to grow the instruments. And then this started as this whole production of like, all right, let's start showing people how to do this as well. But we really think that it's more important around the concept of like culinary climate action looks like, yo, feeding yourself, feeding your family, knowing that, you know, food is medicine, and that you can take care of yourself when you actually have access to that. Even if you got like, you know, a windowsill or a closet, you know what I'm saying, you can still grow something. I've seen it.
Heather, you taken a lot of culinary courses around the world now.
In Mexico. I did gardening in Mexico.
For years.
Yeah.
She gardened in Mexico.
Yeah, it was important for me to do that specific culinary journey in Mexico because of what they grow, you know, the avocado. I found, I didn't know that pineapple came from the ground. I thought it was pineapple trees. I learned so much being out there. But my question to you, because I don't live in Mexico and I don't have all of this space, I do have a home in the backyard. But for my friends who want to grow, because every time I say, oh, I grew that cilantro or I grew this arugula or something, they love it. They want the cucumbers, the tomato. They don't have the space. And I know you say like a windowsill, but are there other options besides that? Because I think once people start to grow, they want more. You know, and your windowsill can only hold but so much if you have the place with the light. You may get 2 pots there, you know, and it's not enough. What are some other options?
Yeah, you know what? There's a couple of things that I've tried. I've tried, you know, aeroponics with the tower garden system.
Right.
I've definitely, I love those because you can get like a nice little lighting system. It sounds like a, you know, a little stream or a little fountain in your house or something like that. Put it in the corner.
Okay.
But you can also try like, you know, put some things right out your windowsill. Another things that I actually like, Back to Roots has like, you know, those mushroom growing boxes. You can, you know, try those. A lot of things have kind of been setting up differently when I feel like people want to like have like the reason what they want to grow too. So like if you're growing what you want to eat, that changes everything because you'll be real all gung ho about it. You'll start finding some little, you know, garden plots, start getting you some worm castings, everything start getting up. And that bioremediation is really important. If you see things growing in your neighborhood and, you know, the land ain't being used, if you see something growing there, it's probably something that you can work with. Like, you know, you see some mushrooms on the ground, like some wild spinach or some yarrow, just go ahead and shovel it up, you know what I mean? If you see something growing, that means you can grow too. So that's the concept, you know, take over the plots, you know what I mean? By all greens necessary. It's really important.
So many bars within these statements.
Well, how can people reach you? Let's give out your social before we go.
You know, it's important. I'm on IG at Etef, IETEF, and, you know, website, Chef Etef, you know, IETEF.com. You know, I think it's important to talk about, you know, food is activism, you know what I mean, and really getting in that conversation. So, yeah, follow me. I'll be there talking about, you know, how you can get in the garden.
Okay, Tracy G.
You know, I've been thinking about how our views around food have changed over the decades, right? And I think right now, a lot of folks look at going at restaurants as a sign of I made it, right?
Yeah.
And then look at preparing their food at home as a sign that I'm pinching coins. And that is closer to poverty when I could really just be spending it out here. However, what is a different mindset, approach, perspective that you can have to switch that lens? And also for those who may have had an interest on food as justice or environmental justice, but they're like, am I going to be able to make a living off of this path? Can you speak to both of those?
You know, that's interesting. Me and the elder, Brian Terry, you know what I'm saying, one of my mentors.
Brian Terry.
We were working on this workshop called Recipes for Resistance. It was one of the culinary climate action workshops where I actually would make beats with all the ingredients, and then he would make a recipe with the ingredients right after we were done with it. But the conversation that we were doing, I'm doing these workshops around the nation with artists as first responder, basically teaching people how to prepare food that's locally grown, sustainably sourced, you know what I mean, has that traceable source, how to forage, how to go into the mountains, how to do these herb walks and actually identify plants that are in our neighborhood, because that's really important. We got to have that ancient wisdom, that knowledge that I feel like our elders were really keeping on the tips of their tongues that we need to pass on to the next generation. We can do that through hip-hop. We can write rhymes about it. You know what I'm saying? If we can teach somebody where they had back, we can definitely show them how to harvest some kale. Yeah. You know? And I think the same conversation is important, what you're talking about. And at the same time, there's access. You know what I'm saying? For instance, like I'm one of the co-founders of Plant Tega, which is a place where you, right here in like middle of New York City, you can go find you a vegan chopped cheese at like most of these bodegas. And I think the conversation of what that looks like is like create the access where it wasn't, you know? Be able to put something subsidized in the hood where it wasn't. If you don't see food growing, grow it. If you don't see, you know, the music that you love, create it. And I think that same mentally edible consciousness still goes in the same conversation too.
All right. Man, DJ Cavem is here. Dr. Etef, he's also an MC.
Please.
We'll find out about that a little later, Mike Muse. I know you want to ask a question now.
Yeah, great conversation. Can you help the citizens connect dots, right, in terms of how they can put forward action in their communities, in their neighborhoods, how they can transition the plots or the vacant homes, the vacant plots are not being used, how to engage with their city council, their local officials in order to convert that vacant space into green space, and talk about the idea of, sometimes we use food justice interchangeably. It's an ever-evolving term from food deserts, food insecurities. So if you can talk about those two different things.
Wow, you know, I think the conversation right now is food sovereignty, right? So what does that look like to, you know, take the land back, as my little brother Shuteska would always say? I think the conversation that you're asking is really about what can we do to stay more active, right? So, of course, you can compost. That's one of the most important things to do right now, because everybody in our times is not really taking and doing that conscious waste diversion that needs to happen, right? So composting, recycling is one thing, because even if you don't have a garden, it's really about what's going on in our landfills, you know? And some of these major issues that are addressing, like, you know, the methane gas of what's happening with climate change, you can easily just go ahead and take that back to the fact that how we just need to just start at home, right? So it's not just in that level too. Some of the things when it comes down to just having access to the land, all right, city council is one thing, but on the real, I done seen people create some seed bombs with some clay, put some sunflowers and just throw them. All right, so taking your land back by all means necessary definitely does look like, okay, you can find some garden plots. You can definitely go into, you know, your city council meetings and actually set up ways to have nonprofits purchase the land, create, like, you know, a way you can get a water tap. And those are some of the things that I've seen access to. But if you ain't got time for all that, find a local community garden. You know what I'm saying? They might be able to actually show you where you can take your food scraps that you're going to not use at home. You can go ahead and compost those. Sometimes I blend mine, you know what I mean? I throw that right back into my house plants.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Or sometimes I'll freeze dry them, or, like, you know, put that, like, you know, in your, you know, like a plant, you know, nutribiotic smoothie for your plants and stuff like that. But some of the things I really feel like you should try outside of that, yo, is just get in your space. Really try, like, this deeper connection with, like, the earth. Take your shoes off, go hug some trees, learn what nature sounds like. You know what I'm saying? All this buildings and the concrete garden and all that, yo, like, we really need to do some different things with adapting ways to follow the birds and the trees and the bees. Maybe set out, like, you know, a bowl of water with some rocks on it for the bees right now. These are, like, just learning how to connect with earth is most of the most important things right now.
What does that do for the bees?
Yo, they traveling. And so, like, they really need all the nutrients they can get. You know what I'm saying? And I think that the pollinators are the ones that we really need to keep the spice game right. You know what I'm saying? Everything gonna be nice when the spice is right, but that's really what it is. So the bees are the ones who are taking all of the seeds that we need to travel across the world. They're taking this time along with the birds, and they're also taking this energy, you know what I mean, around the connection with the universe, right? So when we know things is happening with our spirit, you just got to just look at all the animals to tell you what's going on. And I feel like when we feed the animals, you'll be right, you know?
DJ Cavem, man, we're going to come back, man. You got a new song called Garden Snakes. That just came out not that long ago, right?
Oh, man, I'm so excited. Just dropped 2 days ago.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? Celebrated Earth Day. Shout out to my man Murs for this one.
Murs is on it. Murs.
Shout out to my man Trev Rich on it, you know?
I love Murs,
Yeah,
man. He's a really good soul. He has a really good spirit, man. Dude gifted me a great book once. But yeah, go ahead. Who else is on it?
Man, you know, I just been celebrating this Concrete Garden album. You know, it's going to be dropping officially on summer solstice. And the EP came out a while ago. You know, I had Cyrock on it. You know, but this next joint is going to be fire. Yo, we got Cody Chestnut on it. Got Killer Priest on it.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Got,
Cody Chestnut, huh? Come on.
Classic, right?
All
Yeah.
right, yo.
Shout out
Killer
to
Priest. That's my guy.
Shout out to my man Shuteska on there, too. You know, I think the conversation that we need is that what does it look like to have that intergenerational dialogue? You know, we had a lot of intergenerational tyranny, you know what I mean? People's, like, you know, just not really having the conversation to connect with young people. You know, I think that this is what's going to happen right now. Got to have that connection with the seeds to be able to grow the seeds. Real talk.
There you go, man. This is Dr. Etef, a.k.a. DJ Cavem.
Yeah.
The song is called Garden Snakes. If they look up if they go to the DSPs, what they look up?
Man, it's going to be right there. You can get it straight up. Download it on SoundCloud right now. And there's some garden hacks. If you don't know how to grow some food, there's a full-on description of how you can get your garden set up right now, straight up. Happy Earth Day, y'all.
Hey, DJ Cavem is here.
Yeah.
So that's where people reach you at, IETEF?
Yeah, ETEF. That's how you find me, you know what I mean, on all the platforms. Get at me.
And we're talking about a lot on plant-based foods, food justice, climate change, how to grow your own food, the revolution being in the food, you know, how to link up with local officials for the sake of the food. Different things you can do to spread food throughout the community. Leslie is on the line from North Carolina. Welcome to the show, Les.
Leslie.
What's up, Leslie?
Les, what's poppin', Les? Now, anybody want to learn how to grow food, even if you're in an apartment building?
Yeah, that's a big problem.
Yeah,
it's a big problem.
DJ Cavem, aka ETEF, can help you out.
We up in there. What's happening?
So here's a tip that is really good for your budget, and you could do it anywhere in an apartment or in a small space. If you go to Lowe's and you get the paint buckets, like the 5-foot paint buckets that they use for building, like the building, put some holes in the bottom of it, and then the lid that you would put on the top. Don't put holes in the bottom in the lid and make that like catch the water. And then you can grow stuff in your windows anywhere you get light house, and it's deeper. So I've even grown sweet potatoes in there because they grow down. So you don't just have to fill. And they're small. If you want to make them look cute, you can spray paint them, put whatever, make them look sexy to match your living room. But you can grow a lot of food and even tomatoes because it has the depth that you need for like an outdoor garden.
Yep. You know, I was in Kampala, Uganda, and I saw somebody take like some burlap coffee bags, right? They drill holes on the side and then like wrapped it in like some like tight chicken wire, and then they poked all the seeds on the side. They had like strawberries growing on the outside. They had like corn and like collard green trees growing on the top, and on the inside they had like cassava and like some sweet potatoes too, just like that. And you can grow like in a small area, just all vertical, just like that. It's a great idea. Real talk.
Wow, man, I like that, Leslie. Make sure you follow this man, okay? Because he got seeds.
On deck. Holla at me. I got the kale. I got the kale on deck. You know what I'm saying? I got the arugula on deck. I got the tricolor beets. You know what I'm saying? Holla at me.
All right.
Okay, thanks, y'all.
Okay. Thank you, Leslie. All right, cool. Man.
What you do about the animals in your backyard snacking on them the plants too?
Yo, I've been growing for the pest. You know what I'm saying? So like sometimes I might even just go ahead and grow grow sunflowers just for them. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like just for them. I'll go ahead and hit the perimeter with like all the cayenne pepper. You know what I'm saying? And if it's like dealing with like some aphids or something, like all right, they might eat like your first couple of leaves, but after that, like but if they stay for a couple of weeks, then I'm breaking out to Dr. Brown and somebody getting washed down. Real talk.
What did the doctor
Not
what?
washed
So
down, the soap.
What is that?
I use
Dr. Bronner soap. You know it if you see it.
I use
the concentrated soap?
Yeah, the one with got the whole scripts on the outside.
All the
of it.
ingredients.
Yeah,
Wait, hold up, y'all. Wait,
Bruh,
what is it?
You make your own like wash to like wash out all like so if you got aphids on your collard green and your kale, man, like for real, man, I'll be like I'll go ahead and like, wash them babies down. Like I used to use neem oil, but now I started using like the Castile soap. Mix a little bit of that with some water in a spray bottle. Pop, 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 pop.
And then what does that do? That's
Straight
like repellent?
Man, straight up, they don't like it and they don't come back. And then like you just rinse them down, bro.
So when you say they, what kind of pests we're talking?
I'm talking
Snails,
mice. I'm talking about like the mice you're gonna
roaches?
have to. I'm talking like the aphids. The mice you have to break out like some cayenne pepper. You know what I'm saying? You might have to break out like some black pepper for like squirrels as well. You just make like a nice little circle around whatever you're trying to grow, and they ain't gonna come back. Real talk. But as far as like things like that, like you might just want to just introduce like some ladybugs. You gotta get you some companion plants, man. Maybe like some marigolds or something like that, some onions or something, depending on what you're growing. Learn what you're growing so you can get the companion plant with it, and then they'll actually go ahead and like naturally repel all the insects and the things that it don't like.
We have possum, raccoons,
Oh,
squirrels.
shit. Y'all
yeah.
got livestock coming on yours.
No, and it's weird because you don't know, and it's scary because you walk out and you see it. But I never thought about the Dr. Bonners. I know the peppermint. I never thought about the Castile. So
yeah, and
we'll do.
But like and some of the animals and stuff like it's the cayenne peppers because like once they get that on their nose, they gonna back up.
They go back
Got
up.
you.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's true, man.
Yeah, black pepper, cayenne pepper all
Yeah,
day.
you put
So
that
he
pepper
said
on it.
roaches.
Nah, I used
Yo.
the pepper spray for mice though.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
work with the spiders. You know what I'm saying? They go ahead and take care of most of that for you.
Yeah, when they inhale that pepper spray and they get in their nostrils and start doing things to them.
Lord,
Get out.
Okay, all right, we're gonna pivot. Cameron, you got a
Don't kill
comment.
them, Sway. That's what Caleb's
man.
really trying.
Next call is Peter.
Not environmentally friendly.
Nah, those mice are like ops.
They trying to take out the
All
animals.
right. Yo, Cameron, what up, man? What you want to say?
What up, Cam?
Good morning, Sway, Tracy G, Heather B. How y'all doing?
What up,
Excellent,
fam?
man. Go for it. He in PA. Go
So
for it.
my question is, I'm currently right now trying to work with the school district in inner city, growing plants back in the schools and having like a school garden. I remember when I was growing up, they would give you like a little pot of dirt and a little sunflower seed to grow, and you'll watch them in class as a kid, and it was like exciting. So right now I'm just trying to see what it is that you can do to make inner city schools that don't have a lot of money to get them involved in wanting to do something like that.
One of the things that's definitely to be able to get access to capital, I would say for sure, use everything you got. You can teach some wall garden workshops, teaching people how to like set up like a drip irrigation system with like, a nice little setup on the wall. I don't know if you've seen that before, but a lot of times people really trying to like create access by creating those green jobs, right? So, you know what I mean? Things that I have noticed outside of just go ahead and doing like just the farmers market sales. There's some grants out there you can definitely apply for, but good luck on that, man. Save your seeds for sure. That's another thing, and composting, maybe like creating like a community compost at the school to where you can set up like in the back lot of like, the playground, and like community can come and like add on with like some hay bales, and then you can like, raise funds that way. That might be a good way to start off. Good luck, homie.
All right, thank you. Now, I did do one thing with my daughter. I taught her how to make a hydroponic garden out of a 5-gallon bucket, and she took it to school as a science project.
See?
And that was something that anybody can do it. It costs $10 to make it.
Man.
Yeah, but you did that. Give that man a round of applause.
Man,
He's a rap
cheers,
dad.
man.
He's a rap dad. I ain't never did that with my daughter.
All right, then. Yeah,
All right.
I
Cameron,
appreciate
thank you,
you guys
man.
this morning.
Hey, make sure you follow him at IETEF on social, okay?
Definitely will.
All right, my man. Listen, brother, I appreciate you coming through for Earth Day. We always try to either do a phone call or some type of acknowledgement. Today I want to make sure you got connected, and here he is. The brother came all the way from the West Coast. He didn't want to leave Sausalito. Nobody want to leave Sausalito.
Man, it's so beautiful.
Man, that's where I escaped when they did Desert Storm. I went over to Sausalito.
Word.
And discovered a whole new oasis in the bay.
I gotta visit.
Yeah.
Yo, come hit the boats. Holla at me.
It's beautiful, man. All right.